guys, well today we're going to talk about additional facts about influenza virus. Well, what causes influenza virus? Influenza viruses travel through the air in droplets. When someone with the infection coughs, sneezes, or talks, you can inhale the droplets directly, or you can pick up the germs from an object such as a telephone or computer keyboard, and then transfer them to your eyes, nose, or mouth. People with the virus are likely contagious from about a day before symptoms appear until about 5 days after they start. Children and people with weakened immune systems may be contagious for a slightly longer time. Influenza viruses are constantly changing, with new strains appearing regularly. If you've had influenza in the past, your body has already made antibodies to fight that specific strain of the virus. If future influenza viruses are similar to those you've encountered before, either by having the disease or by getting vaccinated, those antibodies may prevent infection or lessen its severity, but antibody levels may decline over time. Keep that in mind. Also, antibodies against influenza viruses you've encountered in the past may not protect you from new influenza strains that can be very different viruses from what you've had before. Okay, so let's move on to risk factors. What about that? Factors that may increase your risk of developing the flu or its complications include your age. Seasonal influenza tends to target children 6 months to 5 years old and adults 65 years old or older. Living or working conditions, such as people who live or work in facilities with many other residents, such as nursing homes or military barracks, are more likely to develop the flu. People who are staying in the hospital are also at higher risk. Weakened immune system, such as cancer treatments, anti-rejection drugs, long-term use of steroids, organ transplants, blood cancer, or HIV can weaken your immune system. This can make it easier for you to catch the flu and may also increase your risk of developing complications. Another condition could be chronic illnesses. Chronic conditions including lung diseases such as asthma, diabetes, heart disease, nervous system diseases, metabolic conditions, and airway abnormality, and kidney, liver, blood disease may increase your risk of influenza complications. Another aspect could be your race. Native American people may have an increased risk of influenza complications that has been shown in studies. Another fact is aspirin use under age 19. People who are younger than 19 years of age and receiving long-term aspirin therapy are at risk of developing Reyes syndrome if infected with influenza. Another fact is pregnancy. Those people who are pregnant are more likely to develop influenza complications, particularly in the second and third trimester. Women are more likely to develop influenza-related complications up to 2 weeks after delivering their babies. Additional fact about it is obesity. People with a body mass index of 40 or more have an increased risk of flu complications. But what about the complications? If you are young and healthy, the flu usually isn't serious. Although you may feel miserable while you have it, the flu usually goes away in a week or two with no lasting effects. But children and adults at high risk may develop complications that may include pneumonia, bronchitis, asthma flare ups, heart problems, ear problems, acute respiratory distress syndrome. But keep in mind that pneumonia is one of the most serious complications for older adults and people with a chronic illness, and that could be deadly. So that's important to know. What about prevention? We have the flu vaccines, or also known as flu shots. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, recommends annual flu vaccination for everyone aged 6 months or older. The flu vaccine can reduce your risk of the flu and its severity and lower the risk of having serious illness from the flu and needing to stay in the hospital. Flu vaccination is especially important this season because the flu and coronavirus disease COVID-19 cause similar symptoms. Flu vaccination could reduce symptoms that might be confused with those caused by COVID-19, preventing the flu and reducing the severity of flu illness and hospitalization could also lessen the number of people needing to stay in the hospital. Each year's season flu vaccine provides protection from the 3 or 4 influenza viruses that are expected to be the most common during that year's flu season. This year, the vaccine will be available as an injection and as a nasal spray. In recent years, there was concern that the nasal spray vaccine wasn't effective enough against certain types of flu. However, the nasal spray vaccine is expected to be effective in the 2020 to 2021 season. The nasal spray still isn't recommended for some groups, such as pregnant women, children between 2 and 4 years old with asthma or wheezing, and people who have compromised immune systems. If you have an egg allergy, you can still get a flu vaccine. Well, those were the additional facts I wanted to share with you about flu and how it is caused and prevented in many opportunities. So let's take advantage of it, and I hope you stay safe and have a wonderful day. It was a pleasure stay with you here, guys, and please share, subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below and let me know what do you think about it. Please subscribe and see you soon.